Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you, and then tonight I was in utter disbelief and total complete shock. I know that I think that was just earlier this morning. I make so many videos on my channel. Even honestly, I can't remember when I make some videos sometimes. But one of my last videos that I put up was on the status of AJ Styles and his contract with TNA Wrestling, just saying that they were on different ends of the earth when it came to doing their contracts. And then tonight I come out and see the headline that a TNA veteran might be done with Impact Wrestling and he might be leaving. I clicked on the story to open it up and read it, thinking it might be like a guy like Kaz or Christopher Daniels, somebody like that just is going to go off and try to find other work elsewhere. And basically they're saying that the Impact tapings that are going to be shown on Spike TV, I believe the 9th of January. I knew that they were taping a whole shitload of shows. And I knew that they wanted to get through the holiday season, and they wanted to just make sure everything was all done and perfect, and they would come back after the new year and they would get it done. But when are these tape shows going to stop? Because they air a main event where Dixie Carter gives AJ Styles a one-night contract. One night. Come back, defend his TNA title against their TNA champion, and see who the true TNA champion is, to find the undisputed champion. You can't say that they're trying to beat WWE to the gun, trying to beat them to the punch on their own storyline, since they're redoing their storyline, because this isn't going to air until after WWE crowns their own undisputed champion at the TLC pay-per-view with John Cena and Randy Orton, if that is really what's going to happen. But AJ comes out, him and Magnus have a match, Magnus beats him, and there's a whole bunch of disqualification. They have the whole TNA roster out there, from Sting to the Bromans, EC3, this guy, that guy, and the other guy. It's just utter complete chaos. And I can't really judge exactly everything that's going to happen on the show, but why they did this taped, why they didn't do this as one of their sort of, I don't even know what to call them, they try to trick you saying that like Spike TV paid for the pay-per-view and they're giving it to you for free, like it's some, big, really awesome thing that we get to watch on TV. And when it comes down to it, a lot of times it's just a basic, TV show, that's just like all the other ones that they put on, which is just one good main event. But why they didn't do something like that, I have no clue. Because to give something like this away, today is December 5th. I'm on I'm the later part of the West Coast here. So if the East Coast, it's already December 6th, and this match isn't even going to air until next month on the 9th. For 4 weeks, this is going to sit in a can. And it's going to pass around on every dirt sheet, and every podcast is going to talk about this. That talks about professional wrestling. Every person that makes videos like me out there, trying to keep everybody up to date on what is going on. Everyone's going to know what happens. Everybody's going to know that Magnus became the champion, and now you're going to give away them, making the undisputed champion. And I know that's not their plans, is to let everybody know what's going on, and it's their own fault for letting the Impact fans in there, and everybody, brings a phone and takes a picture, or just flat out remembers what goes on, and they just tweet the shit out as fast as they can. But as a wrestling fan, this is one of the reasons why the dirt sheets suck. But yet, all of us, including me, it's one of the first things you click on most days, or it's one of the first things you listen to. I've honestly replaced all of the Figure 4 weekly shows as my main things that I listen to on my podcast schedule above, daily, weekly, whatever kind of radio shows that talk about news and other things that are around the world. I sort of base those around one of other shows that are out there that I want to listen to about wrestling news. And, that's on me. And maybe I'm just sort of, you know, putting my own self out there because I'm sort of embarrassed about that. But I'm sure I'm not the only person that is like that. I just really honestly like listening to the other views about professional wrestling and everything like that. Or obviously I wouldn't like making these videos for you guys to have conversations about. And honestly, it's a little weird because ever since the Google Plus takeover of YouTube a few weeks ago, my comments have really died out to where I get 4 to 5 comments out there. So anybody who's out there with Twitter at Stevie Breach, I'll carry on a wrestling conversation with you as fast as I can with anybody else. Just tweet me anything and I'll tweet you back. That's why I like making the videos is to get the comments and get the interaction and you know that somebody's actually listening to these things. But I think this is the end of AJ. I mean, AJ came out there. AJ, you know, said goodbye to the fans, and it's not like at that one pay-per-view where John Cena lost a match and John Cena got fired and he walked around the ring and he gave everybody high fives. I know that was on pay-per-view, and I know, like, you know, WWE app, or not the app, but WWE.com put the video up and they treated it like he was a really good buy, but the motherfucker showed up the next night. I think that was actually the Survivor Series, 2010. Now that comes to mind, I think that's what it was. If Orton didn't win the title, then Cena got fired. And then Barrett and the Nexus actually fired him. But then he showed up the next night, and The Miz cashed in because Cena ran in like he brought a front row ticket and all that shit. But I honestly think Styles is done. There's no real reason for him to return and do anything with Dixie. You know, the people say that the money's the main thing that's keeping him out of there. Who knows where the fuck AJ Styles thinks he's actually going to make more money out there, if he's just going to go wrestle in Japan, if he's going to go wrestle in, Mexico, or he's just going to be an indie guy that floats around. I don't see him as a guy that's going to be able to make more money working for a place like Ring of Honor. WWE, as I said in my other video, is literally saying, if you want to come here, we have a job for you. We're going to put you in developmental. You're making about 20 cents on the dollar to what you're used to making, and at least we'll give you a chance to make it there. But then again, you got to wonder, you know, with TNA, sometimes they'll sign TNA guys just so they're not TNA guys anymore. I know that Christian became World Heavyweight Champion since leaving TNA and coming over. But you got to wonder, you know, if what happened, you know, didn't happen with Edge, would Christian ever have gotten that spot? Because you saw that Christian rode that spot out. And he did have one hell of a feud with Randy Orton until SummerSlam 2011. But you got to think of, if Edge was there and Edge didn't retire, Edge probably wouldn't be getting those bookings and getting those matches. Christian got hurt. Who knows if that really hurt him? They looked at him as a guy who got hurt a lot, and maybe that knocked him down. But, I mean, since coming back from that injury, and not the injury that he's got now with the concussion, this is back in 2011, you know, he came back, he won the Intercontinental Champion, but they've just sort of used him as just sort of a guy, and that's about it. R-Truth, Ron Killings, he was a guy that came from TNA as well. I know he was a WB guy before, but, you know, he's gotten one main event against John Cena again at a bad pay-per-view. Again, I believe that was 2010. Maybe that was 2011. No, it had to be 2010. The Washington, D.C. show. You know, the WWE just doesn't like to push these guys, but they will sign them, honestly, just to make sure that the other guys don't have them and make sure that they're a little bit weaker. And you can look at the TNA roster, and a roster without AJ Styles is a big hit to those guys. I'm really surprised. I know they're trying to cut every dollar that they can, but they wouldn't sign him. AJ's the life and blood. There's so many fans out there who found out about TNA because people kept talking about AJ Styles and how he was this phenomenal athlete. He was doing things in the ring that nobody had ever seen before. He's having matches with him and Christopher Daniels and these Ultimate X matches, and there's no words to really explain, and you better jump on board and check this shit out because you don't want to be the last guy on the block to watch it. But, AJ said goodbye to the fans. He walked around the Impact Zone, and who knows that this is, TNA's mastermind way of, getting the fans of the Impact Zone to buy into this. And then you bring AJ back and say, I don't even know how you get him back into the company, because like it's not like Hogan's gonna be able to say that Hogan's got an ownership stake or anything like that. Maybe you could have some sort of angle where Spike TV steps in to save this company, and they put AJ out there as the guy, and it's gonna be tough. I mean, you built this whole storyline up about AJ basically saving the company and being the one guy to go up against Dixie Carter, say the things that the fans, wish they could say. It's hard for the company to have some guy come out there and say that they've made so many mistakes and they've signed the wrong guys and put guys in the wrong spots and pushed the wrong guys down. But AJ said all that stuff, and it's what every single fan of TNA that's out there who's loved this show says. Whether it's to themselves or if they make blogs or if they make videos like this, that we want to see AJ Styles wrestle in the main events. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see ex-WWF guys. If you want to sign those guys, that's cool, but we don't need them clogging up our main event. Put them on the show to try and bring more people in, but we've been watching, for longer than these guys have been around. Like how he said Booker T came in for a 2-year vacation just to collect a paycheck and not care about what the fuck was going on, what was going to make TNA a better company. It's just weird. He's an original, and honestly, my gut opinion is that I could be getting worked right now, and I'm hoping getting worked. But my gut opinion is this is AJ's goodbye, like a real goodbye. Like he might come back for an anniversary show or some shit like that somewhere down the line. But as far as being like TNA's guy that's on this show every week, I honestly think he's done. And maybe that's why they gave him the Bound for Glory thing, as knowing he's the biggest star that they've ever created, the biggest star that they've ever had, as a way of saying thank you. And but I think he's done things for this company that you have to make sure that he's in this picture as long as possible. I'm not going to say that he's their Hulk Hogan, but I mean there's no other way to really put it. Is that he is the guy that made so many people go out and make sure TNA was on Spike TV. And he fucked that. Make sure they had a spot on Fox Sports. They and supported them to get to where they are. Who knows if this company's going to be here a year or 2 years from now? But they wouldn't even be at this spot now if it wasn't for AJ Styles. So it's weird. I mean, if you were to ask me right now, I say he's done. I don't want him to be done, but I think that's really is what's going on.